Yo, what's up, gang? I hope everyone's doing absolutely amazing. It's kind of hard. I got the camera down on the side angle, so the video looks better, but me looking into that camera and not looking at myself is kind of weird. Anyways, bear with me. Today, I'm going to be talking about raising your standards and how this is going to help you live a better life. Just to get right into it, you got to expect more of yourself if you want to become more. You can't just say, hey, I want to have a gigantic team of people that are all doing or working under me or something like that. If you're not going out and getting those people, they're not just going to fall in your lap, yo. Like, you got to do something about it. You got to work if you want to become more. And that has to be a standard of your life. It helps you live your passion in my opinion. Let's just say your standards are that I'm going to get 10 new clients a month. Those 10 new clients every single month are going to keep fueling your passion. They're going to keep the fire burning. They're going to keep the wood coming in for the fire, whatever. That's some type of expression. I don't know. But you know what I'm trying to say. Like, you're just going to keep getting more and more passionate about it because you see that what you're doing is really making an impact. And it's just crazy. It brings you towards people that have high standards as well. If you're hanging around with a lot of people that have low standards, you're probably going to have low standards too. And I realized in my life that my whole lifetime has been a lot of me hanging around with people that have low standards, but also hanging around with people that have really high standards. So it's like my standards are like medium. And me as a person, I have to do a better job at raising my standards because I'm not trying to be average. I'm not trying to be just like a regular Joe or whatever they call it, like average Joe. I think that's what it's called. I'm not trying to be that, yo. Like, I'm trying to be great. You feel me? So I really got to up my standards. I really got to up my work ethic because if I really want what I say I want, I'll put the work in. And if I don't, that just means I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? I'm still not looking at the camera. It's getting a little difficult. There's less things you have to deal with. Let's just say you have a standard that, you know, you're not going to eat this bag of chips. Because if you do eat this bag of chips, you're going to have to go to the gym and spend an extra hour doing some type of cardio to keep your same physique. If you just don't eat the bag of chips, you don't need to do that. Perfectly fine. But that's a standard you have to set for yourself. Or let's just say you got a carpet or regular floor. When people come in, you tell them to take off their shoes so you don't have to vacuum or sweep as much. That is a standard you are placing on your household. It's just a couple examples for that. And then standards they're kind of like expectations. For instance, it's not society's job to make sure that you don't have a heart attack. That has to be a standard of yourself. Meaning, if you don't want a heart attack, you have to eat good and work out and stuff like that, and make sure that you don't have, you know, a lot of extra fat on your body, stuff like that, or whatever happens. You know, I know, you know, being overweight or having extra fat on your body can lead to some heart issues and stuff like that. But just an example, you have to have those standards of yourself. If you want your family to live an amazing life, that has nothing to do with society. That is standards of yourself. I wasn't even looking at the camera. I was looking at the windowsill. That's so stupid. But yeah, you respect yourself a lot more when you do have these standards because, in my opinion, you start to set yourself apart from a lot of people. The higher you raise your standards, the more people you're leaving behind. Not in a negative way. It's just, they're just not in your standards anymore. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've had to let go of a lot of my homies and stuff, and not necessarily let go, but just stop hanging with them or just not being around them too much because they're just not in my standard, yo. Like, that's not what I want my life to be, and those are not the type of people that I want to be around anymore. And that's just something I had to do for myself. Was it hard? Yes. Was it difficult? That's damn near the same thing as hard? Yes. Sometimes do I miss them? Yes. But was it better for me? Yes. You understand what I'm saying? What does that say? You start using your time more wisely. I can't even read my own writing, yo. You start using your time more wisely. If your standards are, I am going to sit here and read for 1 hour a day or something like that, and you know your whole day is busy, and you just put that 1 hour away so you can read, and someone's like, yo, you want to go grab a bite to eat? You just got to say no. You know what I'm saying? Because your standard is not, that's not part of your standard. Your standard is, I'm going to put my standards up high so that I can read this book, so I can become more intelligent, so I can have this information, stuff like that. That's not really in my day-to-day routine. That's not part of my standards in terms of like what I should be doing with my time or what's more important type thing. You could just eat at your house. Mind you, these are off the dome standard examples, so don't give me too much stuff in the comments. But I think a super big one, yo, this is super big, and I've been learning this over the past like couple months, maybe year. You don't let people, when your standards are raised, you don't let people treat you bad, no matter if they're just your friend. Like, for instance, one of my homies, his homies tell him something, like I'll tell him something, he'll be like, bro, I didn't ask. And I'm not just gonna let someone talk to me like that, you know what I'm saying? So his homies said that to him, so now he says that to me. You feel me? But that's not in my standard. My standard is not to be talked to from someone that is a good friend of mine. You know what I'm saying? So until he breaks out of that, I'm not going to speak to him because that's not part of my standard. You feel me? And this is a really good friend. I've known him since I was 13. You know, really good friend of mine. I love him to death, but that's not in my standard for you to me, that's disrespectful. So whatever. That's just not in my standard. So I'm not going to speak to him until he stops saying that to me. Because that's just me, you know what I'm saying? Anybody that tries to down me as a person, anybody that tries to down me, that tries to disrespect me for no reason, that tries to make my life bad in any type of way, I'm not dealing with it because that's my standard that I hold myself to. And if I want my life to be good, I can't have people trying to bring me down all the time. So I just have to let them go. I'm not letting my homie go, by the way. I'm just not going to, once he's out of that phase, you know what I'm saying, the little immature phase, then, you know what I'm saying, we could talk again. But until then, you stay over there, G. To finish this off, how your life is right now is a direct reflection of how high your standards are. Me, I just started living back with my mom, and I don't really want to live with my mom. Nothing against her. I just kind of want my own spot. But that's a standard that's my life is like this because of the standards that I held myself at until this point. I know, some things happen and you really don't have any control of it. But you have control over probably 90% of the things in your life, the things that you do. For instance, I used to buy chips and candy every damn day from like the time I was maybe like 10 to the time I was like, I don't know, 19. And if I saved up all that money, I probably would have like $10,000 right now, and I could have invested it or did this or did that. You look back and you think like, damn, my standards were so low. I could have been so much farther if my standards were higher. But that's just a reflection. No need to worry about that because that's gone and you can't do anything.